Hello dear students, as you all know we are doing now we'll start chapter number 3 because we have done chapter number 2. In the previous video we have done numericals of chapter 2, some selected numericals of NCERT. I have told you cylindrical capacitor, spherical capacitor and some selected numericals which were asked to me regarding the chapter 2. Today we'll start chapter number 3. The chapter number 3 is current and electricity. In this chapter we'll study about current as you have studied it in class 10th also. Okay, so the same thing we are going to study. So this chapter is very easy if you have done it is in a proper way in the class 10. If you have not done, then also this chapter is very interesting because so many things are there which is quite similar as in the class 10, but here we are going to study the concepts in more depth. Okay, like in class 10th only you have studied the definition of current, but here we are going to discuss what is current, why it is not considered as a vector quantity and how the current is flowing inside a conductor. Okay, so before starting this thing, let us understand few points which are very important with regards to this chapter. The first point is flow of charge. We need to understand flow of charge in an external electric field. Suppose an electric field is present over here, okay, and we left a positive charge inside the electric field. It was at rest and just we started, we leave this to move, okay, we leave suppose it was fixed and then we release it. We simply release it. Now try to guess where this charge will move. For this kind of electric field, you must understand here the positive plate should be there and here the negative plate should be there. Then only we can make this kind of uniform electric field. So positive charge, obviously it will move towards the negative plate. And if we leave a negative charge, then obviously it will move towards the positive. So what is the outcome from here? We need to understand from here that positive charges, they move along the electric field. Positive charges move along the field, whereas negative charges, as you can see, it is moving opposite to the field. Negative charges move opposite to the field, right? So this very point you need to understand that positive charges have tendency to move along the electric field in the direction of electric field. No, it should not be along, it should be in the direction of electric field. I am going to tell you why it is moved in the direction of the field, whereas negative charges move opposite to the field. Why I have removed the word along? You need to understand that suppose there is this kind of electric field is somewhere, here a positive charge is there. So at this point the positive charge will experience force along this direction. It is not necessary that the positive charge will move on the line of electric field. Okay, at a particular point the positive charge will experience a force along the direction of electric field, but it is not necessary that it will move on the electric field line. That's why I have removed the word along. Is it clear? So this is the first point you need to understand. Now let us understand the second point. What is the second point? Second point is electric field inside a conductor is 0. Okay, electric field inside a conductor is 0. This thing you have already studied in the chapter number 2. Before starting the capacitor, we have discussed 6 points. This point is one of them. I am going to add a phrase in this sentence, and that phrase is isolated conductor. Isolated conductor. What does it mean? Suppose this is the electric field in this space, and this electric field, we have a conductor of this shape. What will happen? Now the electrons, free electrons, conductor have tendency to have free electrons, they will have tendency to move opposite to the field. The negative charge will move towards this side, and since negative charge will move towards this side, so this side will become negative. Okay, and what happens if this side is negative? As a whole, the conductor should be neutral, so this side will become what? Positive. Okay, positive charge will move this way. Now you can understand inside the conductor, because of this negative charge collected over here, because of this positive charge collected over here, there is a field inside the conductor which is directed towards this side. And we have a field external E0 which is directed towards this side. Inside the conductor we have a field E, outside the conductor there is a field E0 which is directed this side. Now you need to understand that what happens, the accumulation of electron, the movement of electron will be till the time when this E becomes equal to E0. As much as charges going to the sides, negative charges here, positive charges here, this electric field increases, and electron will get transferred to that point at which the electric field which is developed inside the conductor due to these charges becomes equal electric field which is present in the space. The net electric field in that case will be what? 0. E minus E. Inside the conductor the electric field is 0. But somehow if you maintain the electric field inside the conductor by applying a source, say cell, then what will happen? Now what happens? Due to this repulsion of negative charge, electron will move toward this side. And if electron will move toward this side, so here they do not accumulate. What they do, they keep on moving to the positive terminal of the battery. And from here, the negative charges will keep on moving inside the conductor. So what we have a continuous flow of electrons, which is called electric current. Is it clear? If this conductor is kept like this, so within fraction of time what happens? Charges get accumulated and the net electric field inside the conductor becomes 0. Here the net electric field inside the conductor is 0? No, not at all. Here we have maintained that electric field by applying a cell. If suppose this cell has a potential V, so at this point this is V, at this point it is 0. So here in this direction the potential decreases. Here in this direction potential decreases. Obviously the direction of electric field will be in this direction and electrons are moving opposite to the electric field. So here we have maintained that electric field and because of that we are having a current. Okay, but we don't count potential for that, we count electric field. Okay, we count electric field for the reason. Okay, and later on we'll this remove electric field means in our concept we will remove electric field, we will understand by the potential. But for this time, for now, we are going to understand because of this is happening because of presence of electric field inside the conductor. Here that net electric field is 0. It is not isolated, it is connected to a cell. A source of potential difference which causes electric field, which causes motion of electron. Okay, so this is what the regular flow of electron, this is what is called an electric current. Okay, so at this point of time, let us define what is an electric current. Next topic we are going to study is electric current. Very important topic, the base of the chapter. Okay, this is one. Let us understand what is electric current. So now just I have told you, if somehow that potential difference is maintained by using a cell or by using another charged bodies or anything, if the potential difference is maintained, then what happens? Suppose this is higher potential, this is lower potential. Now one more point before I forget, point number 3. Point number 3, before I forget, this is associated with the first point. Okay, suppose this is the electric field, positive charge will move toward this side, negative charge will move toward this side. Okay, that we have discussed. This is the point number 3. We will start electric current in few minutes. If we talk about potential, so in the direction of electric field, potential decreases. Simply means at this point it is higher and it is V lower. Potential higher, potential lower potential. So what we say from here, we say that positive charges have tendency to move from V higher to V lower. They move in the direction of electric field, and the direction of field potential decreases. It simply means that the positive charges have tendency to move from higher potential to lower potential. But what about negative charges? Negative charges, they are moving opposite to the field. Simply they are moving lower potential to the higher potential region. So negative charges negative charges have tendency to move from lower potential to higher potential, VL to VH. Okay, lower potential to the higher potential. This is how we see the things. Positive charges will move from higher potential to the lower potential. Negative charges move from lower potential to the higher potential. Why I am telling so? Because from here you can see this end of the conductor is at V potential and this end of the conductor is at 0 potential. Simply this is the higher potential, this is the lower potential. If you talk about an electron, so that electron will move from V to 0 or 0 to V. Obviously, it is moving from lower to higher, so electron will move this direction. Is it clear? Now, suppose if we take a cross section over here of conductor, okay, and electrons are moving through the cross section. So what we are going to how we define the electric current? Let us see that. What we say that the rate of flow of charge. The rate of flow of charge means charge flowing per second through cross section of the rate of flow of charge through the cross section of any conductor is called electric current. The rate of flow of charge, let me introduce a word over here which was probably not there in the class 10th, normal flow of charge. Electrons, we assume that electrons are flowing normal to the cross section area, perpendicular to the cross section area. The rate of normal flow of charge through the cross section of any conductor is called electric current. We denoted by it capital I or a small I, and it is given as, if suppose delta Q amount of charge is flowing in time delta T, so the formula is I is equal to delta Q by delta T. What should be its unit? Its unit should be Coulomb per second, or the most popular unit is ampere, denoted by capital A. So this is what the definition of current is. The rate of normal flow of charge. Normal flow means the charges are flowing perpendicular to the cross section, right? Charges are flowing perpendicular to the cross section. So normal flow of charge through cross section, or we can add this normal word over here, section normally of any conductor is called electric current, Coulomb per second or ampere. So this is the unit of electric current, and electric current is, okay, let us see the units also. 1 Coulomb per second is equal to what? 1 ampere. 1 Coulomb per second is equal to 1 ampere. If the charge, 1 Coulomb of charge flowing through the cross section normally in 1 second, then the current flow will be called 1 ampere. Okay. Now let us understand some more about this one current. What I have told you, that the electrons will move towards this direction. But what we assume that the current I is flowing in this direction. Okay, current I is flowing in this direction, just opposite to the flow of electron. Why is it so? It is assumed that if the negative charges is flowing this side, this can be said in other words as the positive charges are flowing in this side. If the negative charges are flowing this side, so what we can say, the positive charges are flowing in this side. They are the same. So direction of flow of current is assumed in the direction of flow of positive charge. Okay, so this current is called conventional current. Conventional current. Whenever I say only current, you have to understand I am talking about this. And this flow of electron, the current caused due to that is called electronic current. Flow of electron, due to the flow of electron, the current is caused with that is called electronic current. And this is current which is assumed to have opposite to the flow of electron, it is called conventional current. So whenever I say if we are talking about current, we are talking about this one. Is it clear? We are talking about I. I is what? Conventional current. Some more points about I. Electric current has magnitude as well as direction. Electric current has magnitude as well as direction. How the direction will be? Direction will be always from higher potential to lower potential. Direction of electric current is defined from higher potential to the lower potential. I is flowing in that direction only. Okay, but it is considered to be a scalar quantity. Why is it so? Why is it so? It has magnitude, it has direction, but again it has been considered as a scalar quantity. Why I am doing so? Because it does not follow vector laws of addition. It does not follow vector laws of addition. Let me give you an example also. Suppose if 3 meter of displacement in this direction and 4 meter of displacement in this direction, if they are added and they are perpendicular, what we are going to have? We are going to have 5 meter of displacement in this direction. Okay. Yes, they will be added vectorly. We'll have 5. The direction will be different, obviously. Okay, but we'll have 5. Okay, the magnitude of the resultant will be 5. Is it clear? Okay, let me make it very clear. Okay, suppose 4 in this direction. So what will be the resultant? The resultant will be in this direction and it will be 5 meter. These two are in consecutives, so this is an opposite. But suppose if 3 ampere current is flowing in this direction and 4 ampere is flowing in this direction or in this direction, so what is the current we have over here? Will not have 5 only. Okay, will not have 5. Vector laws are not added. Vector laws are not followed by electric current, and that is why it is considered to be a scalar quantity. Actually, it is a tensor quantity, but at your level, we will not discuss what is tensor. Tensor are the quantities which have both characteristics of a scalar and as well as vector. But in higher studies, you will study it. Okay. Here we will see electric current. In class 12, we see electric current as a scalar quantity. Is it clear? Later on, we will prove a formula that also prove that the current is a scalar quantity. These all things are clear. What we have discussed till now, we have discussed the rate of flow of charge, I is equal to delta Q by delta T. This is the unit ampere. The current which is flowing opposite to the flow of electron, that is called conventional current, and that very thing we have to study. Electric current has magnitude as well as direction, and what is the direction? It is higher potential to the lower potential always, but it is considered to be scalar quantity. Why is it so? Because it does not follow vector laws of addition. Okay, this is what the electric current is all about. Now let us understand how the current is flowing inside the conductor. Okay. So the next topic I am going to take is mechanism of current flow. Mechanism of current flow. Mechanism of current flow. Okay. How the current is flowing. First of all, you need to understand that suppose a conductor is kept over here like this. Okay, it is kept like this. There is no electric field, there is no potential difference applied, nothing. Only conductor is kept over here. Will the electron of conductor are at rest? Will all the electrons of conductor at rest? No, not at all. At room temperature they get out of the atom. And now what happens? They start moving also. They start moving with thermal velocity. Okay, thermal velocity. Velocity due to heat they absorb. And what is the direction of that? Given any potential difference, we have not given an electric field. So suppose if we consider one electron over here, so how it moves? It goes in this direction. Then suppose it hits an atom and then it moves in this direction. Okay, then it goes in this direction, then it goes in this direction, then it goes in this direction. Okay. Okay, some of the electrons are moving in this direction, some of the electrons are moving in this direction, some of this direction, some of this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction. What I'm trying to say is the electrons, the velocity of thermal velocity of electron is randomly oriented. And when it is randomly oriented, what happens? The net velocity, the net motion of the electrons are 0. The net motion of electron is 0. Okay, because the velocity is randomly oriented. But suppose we consider only one electron, and we need to show that its net velocity is 0. How we can see? Suppose it starts from here, then it goes over here, it gets a collision from here, then it goes over here, it gets a collision, then it goes over here, it gets a collision, then it goes over here, then it goes over here, and then it goes over here. Okay, so it reaches to its initial point. Why I am making it to go its initial point? So that the net velocity in this direction along the axis is 0. Okay, they are at the same level. Is it clear? Okay. Now, what happens when we apply the electric field or potential difference? Suppose we have applied a potential difference 0 over here and V over here, lower, higher. Now, electron is a negative charge particle. It has tendency to move from lower potential to the higher potential. So this potential difference will cause an additional force. Okay. Because of potential difference, there is an electric field. And there is an electric field, the electron will be experiencing a force opposite to the electric field. Now in this direction potential increases, in this direction potential decreases, the direction of electric field will be towards this side. The electron will experience a force towards that side. So now what happens? This electron, earlier it was striking at this point, now it will strike a point which is a bit this side of that earlier striking point. Okay, why? Because now this electric field is pulling the electron towards opposite to its direction, and now it will strike this side, now it will strike this side, now it will strike this side, now it strike this side. Okay, and suppose from here it reaches over here. So what we get in the same time, now the electron does not reach over here, it reaches over here. It covers a distance. It covers a distance. This much distance it covers. And why is it so? Because suppose it has a strike over here like this, it has strike over here like this, it has strike over like this. Okay, these are the points it strikes. So now why is it so? Why it is pulling over that side? Because the electric field is pulling the electron opposite to itself. Is it clear? So now electron is moving a distance ahead. For each collision, it has moved towards the electric field. It has moved, opposite to the electric field. And now the electron is drifted by the electric field. And this velocity, suppose the whole process takes a time t. If this distance is d, so d upon t is what? Drift velocity is. D upon t is what? The drift velocity. Is it clear? So we are going to discuss drift velocity mathematically. Because of electric field, it covers a distance. Okay. Now we have a net motion. This net motion of electron causes electric field. Earlier it reaches to this point. Okay, this point. So no net motion is there, but now it reaches to this point. This point. So it has a net motion. Net motion upon net time. What we are going to have? Electric current. So this is what the drift velocity is. Okay. Now, just suppose if u1 vector, u2 vector, u3 vector, and so on. Suppose for n collision we are taking R thermal initial velocities. Earlier what velocities they were having? Initial velocities. Then u1 vector plus u2 vector plus u3 vector plus so on, un vector upon n is equal to what? 0. Why? Because u are randomly oriented, and because of that the u average is what? 0. Now in presence of electric field, a force is applied over electron, and that force is given by E vector into E vector. From where this formula has come, electric field is defined as force upon charge. The force will be what? Q into E. Here we are talking about electrons. So electron, the charge on electron is E. The vector we have written. Now one more thing you need to understand, that electrons are negatively charged, and the force experienced by negative charge is opposite to the electric field. That's why we put a minus n over here. For F we can write mass into acceleration, E into E, from where the acceleration is minus E into E upon m. This is the formula for acceleration. Okay, this is the formula for acceleration. Now, just try to understand. Suppose we have applied electric field, then what will happen? It will be accelerated. Okay, so if it will be accelerated, then if v1 vector, v2 vector, v3 vector, so on, vn vector be the final velocities just before collision, then what we can write? We can write v1 vector is equal to u1 vector plus a1 vector. A will be same for all electrons. A vector into tau 1. Tau 1 is time. I am using the first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. For second we have v2 is equal to u2 plus a vector into tau 2. Same manner v3 vector will be u3 vector plus a vector into tau 3. This process will go on for nth also. We get u1 vector plus a vector into tau n. We are going to add all these. So what we are going to have? We are going to have v1 vector plus v2 vector plus so on. vn vector is equal to u1 vector plus u2 vector plus so on. un vector plus a vector can be taken common. So we are going to have tau 1 plus tau 2 plus so on tau n. Okay. Now what I am going to do? I am going to divide it by n. So this whole will become u average and its value is 0. This v1 plus v2 plus vn, this we can write as drift velocity vd vector, and it can be written as a vector into tau 1 tau 2 tau 2 okay, upon n. It will be relaxation time, or it will be the average time between two collisions. So this is what we have got. We have got vd vector is equal to a vector into tau. If we put the value, we are going to have vd vector is equal to minus e vector upon n into tau. Okay, so this is the formula for drift velocity. Okay, notes will be provided, but not today. Okay, it will be provided, don't worry. You can note down from the board also. Pause the screen and note it down. Don't wait for the notes. Vd is equal to minus e vector upon m into tau. What is Vd over here? So Vd is what? It is the drift velocity. And it is defined as how? And how it is defined? It is defined as the average velocity between two successive collisions is called drift velocity. And one more factor we have used, that is tau. It is called the relaxation time. What is that relaxation time? It is the average time taken between two successive collisions, right? Okay, and it is the average time, as you can see, tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau 3 plus tau n upon n. From here we have written it tau. So it is what? It is average time taken between two successive collisions. One more thing, it was asked in the board examination, what is the significance of this negative sign? What this negative sign signifies? Negative sign signifies that the direction of drift velocity is just opposite to the direction of electric field. Okay, direction of drift velocity is opposite to the direction of electric field. One more point is there, which is there, and some good students get confused. Later on, I will tell you, beforehand, you can take this line from the books also. It is given that the constant velocity of charges causes electric field, causes magnetic field, right? Okay, and that constant velocity is called electric current. But here we can see that the velocity is accelerated. So what I'm trying to tell you, what is the point here? Yes, it is accelerated, but we are not looking at the whole velocity of the electron. Actually, the whole velocity of electron will be the sum of thermal velocity and the drift velocity. Thermal velocity and the velocity which is given by this acceleration. Sum of these two velocity will be its whole. Thermal velocity do not cause any current. Thermal velocity do not cause any current. Only the velocity which is caused by the electric field, that only causes the current. Okay. So it is basically somehow it is kind of group of electrons which are moving together with the same drift velocity. Is that clear? The group of electrons in an electric field, they are moving in this direction. This can be understood like this. The current is moving like this. Electrons are there inside the conductor, they are moving like this together with this velocity. We are not taking the whole velocity, that thermal velocity and the velocity that's caused by this acceleration. Okay, so this is what we have done today. Tomorrow we are going to do a very important derivation. Okay, Marwan, you must be preparing for a test also. Today I think it's Thursday, only 2 days are left. Okay, you must prepare for the test. Is it clear? So this is all for the day. Thank you.